Hi, everyone. My name is Erika Dworkin. I'm a board certified holistic nutritionist, and I am going to be collaborating with Jacqueline Kane, my co author of the Energy Medicine Solution. We will be doing a workshop and a book signing in Plantsville on March 30th. And all of the details will be provided in the comments. But I wanted to take this opportunity to really introduce you to Jacqueline, who is my healer. And she has been instrumental in clearing impeding energies and including fear and other things that were holding me back. So I hope you'll enjoy this chat with us. And with that, I'll introduce Jacqueline. Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm great, largely because of you. So Jacqueline, please tell everyone who you are and what you do and why you're so special.
Well, we're all special. I am Jacqueline Kane, a master energy healer and low back pain specialist, and I help women and men get to the root cause of their physical, emotional, and even financial pain. When we get to the root cause and we heal the past wounds and traumas, then we can finally become ourselves and create the life that we really desire.
Awesome. So, why are you so passionate about helping people with pain and life challenges? What's that all
One,
about?
one because I've been there and I know what it's like to be kind of living with depression or lack of energy, lack of motivation, physical pain, emotional pain, and it's not fun. It's exhausting, it's draining. It stops you from living your life. If you're a mom, and I know there's a lot of moms out there who live with exhaustion and physical pain and they think there's no way out, right?
Right.
So I've been there. I've been on both sides. I've learned a lot of tools to get to the other side. And now I know there's another way to live and not just live, but like really thrive. And as a mom, it's been so important for me to make sure that my kids, that I'm not passing down my stuff, my hardship
Mhm.
to my children.
That's really, really important. Yeah, and most people take it for granted that they're going to inherit from their parents whatever issues came up for them,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be that way. And I learned that with you with ancestral healing, and I had never heard of it before. And as you know, that actually helped my whole family heal,
Mm.
and it helped my mother cross over. So yeah, and it's really makes a difference when you go through things yourself. That helps you. It helps a practitioner really understand what their client is coping with,
Yeah.
and it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So, can you explain a little bit about what energy healing is for all those out there who may not be familiar with it, who may not maybe didn't haven't even heard of it?
Yeah. And energy can kind of be hard to explain, right? It's not really something that's concrete, but you feel it, right? Like, for example, when you walk into a room and all of a sudden you don't feel good, or you walk into the room and you get excited, right? We totally understand that.
Right.
So ancestral energy is the unresolved emotional issues of our ancestors that we inherit. We inherit it because we are created in our mother's womb. We take on her joys, her loves, her excitement, her fears, her worries, along with the father. So, and then we are created. Our DNA is being built, you could say,
Mhm.
in our mother's womb. So there's many women who have gone through trauma during their pregnancy, or they had an event that really shocked them or scared them. That emotion is then goes into the child. So that child is already feeling scared and afraid of, oh my God, where am I? And get me out of here, right? So that can set them up for so many things going forward. And myself, I experienced an ancestral energy clearing, and it had a profound effect on me and my family. So, is it okay if I share that story?
Please. Everyone loves a good story.
Right?
I have a good story too. So,
Yeah, yeah. Let's share our stories.
yeah.
So, I never really understood ancestral energy or even heard of it, but there was one holiday where my sister-in-law had lost her father and her sister, and I knew it was going to be really tough for her. So I mentioned to my family and extended family, let's just go somewhere. Let's maybe even go to Ireland because my mother-in-law was from Ireland. And I thought, let's just all get out of Dodge, kind of say. Um, but my in-laws were against it. They were so adamant, we're not going. I said, fine, we're not going. It's off the plate. We won't even talk about it. So a couple months later, I'm in Texas. I live in Connecticut. So I went to Texas for a conference. And the coach at that time took us through this ancestral energy clearing. And I didn't really feel anything in that moment. But the minute he finished, I was getting up to leave the conference room and my phone started buzzing, and it was my son saying, hey, I found a house for all 13 of us when we go to Ireland. And I thought, honey, that's really nice, but we're not going. Didn't you get the memo? I don't know why you're sending me this. My next text was from my husband, who said his parents had changed. They were all on board, and they were now looking at air flights. So I thought, oh my God, what just happened? Because all of a sudden we went from not going to going, and it was one of our best vacations. My mother-in-law still talks about it, how amazing it was. So I really started using it with my clients. Most
Yeah.
clients come to me because they're with physical pain.
Yeah.
And the ones who they tried everything and nothing worked, doing this clearing really worked for them.
That's that's a really, really powerful story. I love
So what's
that.
your story?
Well, my story's a bit shorter, not quite as dramatic, but I just wanted to. I was when you were speaking about a child being in the womb and taking on energy, it just brought me back to the story that I heard from my father, from both of my parents, that when my sister, this is really amazing, when my sister was in my mother's womb, my father played a lot of classical music
Mm,
to to calm her, to soothe her. Well, my I don't they didn't do that for me, and I don't have musical talent. I tried.
mm,
I tried with a violin, didn't work. My sister has a master's in music and she's a classical guitarist.
yeah,
It makes a difference. The
yeah.
energies that
Mm,
that we experience in the womb carry through. But what I love about what you do is that you can help us shift that energy if the energy is something that doesn't serve us.
yeah.
And that's what's so powerful about what you do and what energy healers do overall. And with you, with all of your experience, it just makes working with you very, very safe,
Mm,
right? Makes it very safe. So, so I guess you've already talked about your first experience with energy healing.
yeah.
So, how did when you before you got in, how did is that how you what the story you just told, is that how you discovered that energy healing works, or is
Yeah.
there something else you'd like to share about that?
That really jump started my passion for ancestral energy clearing. Even my coach at that time, who took us through that process, he
Right.
really didn't use it on us. I started using it with all of my clients who were just not seeing progress that they would like to make. And what happened was that not only were they getting out of pain, or maybe finally, once we cleared the energy, then the right doctors showed up, the right prescriptions showed up,
So,
right?
yeah.
Not only was their health improving, but money was showing up. Their relationships were getting better. Even moms with their kids, their relationships were just turning around and being so much more nurturing and caring and loving.
I
So
yeah.
it was so amazing. It's just become a passion of mine.
I think of it as a metaphor that comes to mind is unplugging the drain.
Yeah.
It just enables
Yes.
everything to start flowing. It's
Mhm.
not just the one thing that someone might go to you for, right? They may
Yeah.
have one issue, they may have back pain, but when you work on them, everything else, like you said, everything else starts to flow. The drain is unplugged. So, do you
Absolutely.
want? I'd love you to talk about some of the other tools that you have in your tool bag to help people. You're a back pain specialist. I come across that all the time with my clients and customers. So, can you tell us something about Bowen therapy and Reiki? And you really have a good bag of tricks.
We do. Yeah, so Bowen therapy is a neuromuscular repatterning of the body, which works every system of the body at the same time. I also do a lot of work with the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle sits in front of the spine. The only way to get to it is through the abdomen. So there's a specific massage I do for that. There's liposage, which is it's a body work which works with the lymphatic system.
Mhm.
And then to go deeper, we do the ancestral energy clearing. I use EFT or emotional freedom technique to heal the inner child, and then voice dialogue with the inner saboteur, because it's a whole mindset shift. When
Those
we,
last two things that I did with you were very powerful. Could you expand on EFT? A lot of people don't know what that is,
sure.
and address the inner saboteur because uh, it's incredibly powerful, and we don't know. And we also the aspect of the inner child, I think
Yeah.
is critical too.
So when we experience trauma at a very young age, it's like we're stunted. It's such a shock to our system, and it's too much for that young child to deal with. So one, that child can leave their body because they don't want to feel all the emotion that's in the body. So we leave it and we kind of get disconnected. But that psyche, that part of ourselves, is still living at that same age. Even if we're 40, 50 years old, we have this wounded inner child who is really like 3 years old and running our lives. So there's a very specific way to get in touch with that part of ourselves to kind of take the pressure off, because that part of you is keeping you safe, but at a very stunted growth, in a childlike way. So we want to evolve that part of you and up level their job description, I call it, so that they're working with you on your goals instead of against you. And the same thing with the saboteur. Again, that saboteur, I've seen many women, especially health practitioners, who are trying to run their business, but every time they do something or put themselves out there, they kind of sabotage themselves. And it's because they have a very wounded part that they've been taught. It's scary to be seen, to speak up and actually be heard. So, again, there's a very specific way to just get in touch with that saboteur to kind of up level their job description. And one of the tools I use is EFT or emotional freedom technique, which is a very powerful mind body tool to reset the energy of the system of the
And
body.
it's tapping for all of you who may
Yes.
not know the EFT term. It's tapping. So you're tapping in special,
Acupressure points,
right.
which follow the meridians of the body, which again gives you that energetic release. So all of this together can create really fast, powerful shifts.
And I have another story related to working with you that whenever I tell it to someone, they look at me in disbelief. But
Mhm.
one of the reasons I went to see you was because I had severe food sensitivities.
Mm.
And I just knew deep down that there was something else going on.
Okay.
I just knew it wasn't just my adrenals. It wasn't just the food I was eating. And so when we did the work that you've just described, I all but probably I felt like I was 90% there, maybe
Mm.
95%. The only thing that I'm not willing to really experiment with yet is gluten.
Mhm.
But dairy, I had gluten, dairy, caffeine, corn. So it seemed like everything I was eating was creating a sensitivity and
Right.
and fatigue, and therefore an energy drain and a
Mhm.
brain drain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was I came out of it really feeling like a new person, renewed, really renewed.
Yeah.
So we have a workshop coming up that
You
we
do?
mentioned. And anything else you want to say about the workshop or about your practice
Well,
and
nothing
and
more about me,
like to work with?
but I'm very excited. We already did this workshop once, and I think it's a topic that really needs to be out there much in
Right,
a much bigger way. Because the work you do around menopause can cause a woman to not feel good, and she doesn't know why, and there's not enough physicians who are addressing the problem. So that's why I love this workshop that where we combine both our skills
yeah,
to help women really get back to thriving in
right.
the prime of their life.
Yeah, it's Jane Fonda referred to the like the arc where we think of life as an arc where we're climbing, 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 and then we get to our midlife and then we start declining. And it's specific to women, right? In our society, we don't really think of it as much with men. And instead, she urged in her quote, she urges people to think of it as a staircase, and we're actually moving into an age of wisdom.
Mhm.
And so for all of you who made it to the end of this video, my portion of our workshop will be about midlife and menopause, mapping your path to empowerment, and I will be providing a glimpse into my 5 proven essential steps to gaining empowerment. So we really both hope that you will be able to join us, and if not, there will be other opportunities if you can't make it in Plantsville. But there's no time like the present to to start moving forward with your health and
Mhm.
well-being.
Yeah, so and I left the information. Please reach out to either one of us if you're feeling stuck and you want to try something new, something that works. And like Erika said, it's a proven system.
Yeah,
It's working for so many people. You don't have to stay stuck anymore. There are ways out of it.
absolutely. Thank you, Jacqueline. And we hope we'll see you all there. And please reach out to us anytime. Take care and have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.